that tells us step by step what to do. You need to follow these instructions to the letter. If you assume too much and go, a machine couldn't possibly know that, it does. It does. So you need to follow to the letter what it's saying.
I have one question. This unit, will that any Viking frame fit on there?
No.
Okay.
It has to have, and the reason I say that is because of the different snaps there are. This is a Viking hoop. It would no way fit on there.
Okay.
It's designer sensitive. So
Okay.
you want to, if you purchase hoops on screen, it'll tell you the ones that you can purchase, and there's about 20 of them. So you want to, they are hoop sensitive. What I'm going to use is the smaller hoop.
Okay.
And it's the 120, 120. This comes with your machine. I think you have
Three, I think.
3 hoops, yeah. Not ready for that yet. We have some work to do before we begin. Remove the hoop. Yep, it already assumes that we've been embroidering. So the first instruction is that. Clear the embroidery arm for calibration. And what that means is this arm needs to swing all by itself to get centered. And this has to do with getting your needle centered onto your project. So I'm going to do that and attach the sensor cue foot. The sensor cue foot is the hopping foot that you need to embroider. And I've got one up here. Where? You'll see this in your accessories, sensor cue foot, and there is a cue.
Okay.
Undo the screw, left loose, right tight is all the screws on here. Undo the screw and remove the ankle, but keep the foot on the ankle because these are easy to lose, these little white pieces, and everything about this machine is white. So you want to be sure that you leave a foot on.
Okay.
And replace it with your sensor cue foot. These do not go on all that easy, and there's a reason for that. And everything is precision made, and it just snapped on. But you'll swear to God it doesn't fit this machine, I promise you. So some get lucky the first time that they try to put that foot on, and some are wrestling with it for a while. But believe me, it will fit on.
Okay.
Retighten the screw on here, right tight. Just a snug tight. They don't give you a lot of leverage. Have I done everything? Yes. So take your stylus and touch OK.
When it says calibrate embroidery unit, how did we do that?
To do that, we touch OK.
Okay.
That's our last step. They want me to remove the hoop first, clear the embroidery arm. That's just getting this clear of all obstacles so you can calibrate and then put your sensor cue foot on.
Okay.
Doing all that, we'll watch this calibrate. Center. Okay. This is how you begin your embroidery. And I say it's like Etch-a-Sketch because the fun begins now.
Okay.
Because you can be so creative with what you want to do. And if you don't like it, instead of shaking it, touch the trash can and it'll all be gone, okay?
Okay.
To get designs, first of all, this machine only understands designs. No letters, no numbers, nothing. To the machine, every number, every letter, every flower, every bird, whatever, is a design. So they describe that with this picture. When you touch design or flower, the design menu appears. And I think there are 164 or 175 designs at your touch. To get to see them all, you just scroll and you'll see all of the designs that are built in. And I just equate these to a zigzag. It's no different than what I've just been doing, touching zigzags and sewing. I want to do a quilt design, and it's got some beautiful ones. I'm going to keep on scrolling. It's got some beautiful designs on here and holidays and so forth. These are shown full color in your book, and a lot of them are true size.
So there is a manual that's included?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm going to pick this one. It kind of goes with my 4 squares, but it's too big. The reason I know it's too big is because of this right here.
Okay.
150 by 150 is not a hoop I own, number one, and it's not the hoop I want to use. So I go here and touch and tell the machine I'm not using that one. Just because you picked it doesn't mean I'm satisfied with it. I'm using this one.
Okay.
Now it's way too big. So I can actually make this the size I want. Go down to little to big designs. This puts me in a screen that enables me to reduce the size or increase the size. These numbers refer to the millimeters. This hoop is 120, 120. So I know that these numbers need to be below 120, 120, both of them. Since I picked a square design, they're going to be pretty equal. Going down in size, going down in the down arrow. I can just do this real quick. 117 by 117.4. That will fit in a 120. Involved here. I would really like to have this a little larger. 100 by 100 is 4 by 4. So if I'm in that range, I'm going to be good.
Okay, what is this percent, plus or minus? What is that doing?
This is zooming to show you the actual zoom in percent. And to me, I can just do the math.
Okay.
But when I touch that zoom, all of this is going to disappear, and all I'm going to have is a solid screen showing the design.
Okay.
But it's just showing the actual zoom percent. I know that I want a 95 by 95. That's going to be perfect. I'll just make it slightly bigger. And that'll look nice on my block. Now that I've resized it, I have spread all of the stitches apart. It's like, I equate it like felting wool. When I have wool and I wash it, it compresses it and makes it smaller. The same deal is with what just happened to these stitches. I made it smaller. I just compressed all those stitches, and if I would leave it like that, it would be kind of wonky looking. I want it to retain its natural look. This icon here will be touched, and it will recount all these stitches to be more pleasing, to look more original. Touch, and it will recount when I say, see, it's kind of glowing blue.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say, okay, that's what I want. The hourglass or the diamond that comes up is actually recounting all those stitches for me. Perfect. I'm in what's called the go screen. There are 2 screens to your machine. There's a back screen, which tells me to put the hoop on. And there's a go screen that when I get the hoop on, it's actually going to show me colors and detail.
Okay.
Now I've got to hoop this up. There's a couple ways with quilts you can hoop up quilt squares. You can do quilt as you go and put your batting in your hoop and your back and not worry about stabilizers. You can just embellish the top quilt if you want and just do a design on the top, or if you're doing a quilt that you don't want it to be puffy with the design, you can put stitch and tear on the back. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put my quilt in here. I'm going to just I just want to quilt a square and do a design on that and then quilt it later as I choose to quilt it.
So you've got a design here, then you're going to put your batting and your backing, and then you're going to quilt over top.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This is just an embellishing of my quilt top. That's what most people do. They don't stick a great big quilt underneath, but it can be done. But the best idea is to embellish your blocks and then come back and quilt and even raise that up even better so it looks even more more quilted.
So you're doing the top alone. There's
Yep.
no batting or anything involved at
Nope.
this time.
I'm
Okay.
just going to stabilize this so it doesn't look wonky when I get it done. I use stitch and tear, and I think I'll go up to the counter and cut a piece. Stitch and tear